Darren stood before the crystalline doors of the estate, his worn jacket a stark contrast to the iridescent architecture of Siverus Prime. 3 years of drifting through the outer colonies had left him desperate enough to answer a job. Posting that seemed too good to be true. Human handyman needed. Experience with primitive technology preferred. The door shimmered open, revealing a silvery woman whose silver skin seemed to capture and reflect the binary suns overhead. Her forearms moved with practiced grace as she gestured him inside. But Darren noticed the tremor in her movements, the way her luminescent eyes dimmed slightly when she thought he wasn't looking. "I am Lyra," she said, her voice carrying the melodic quality all Sylvari possessed. "You are the human who responded to my posting?" "Darren, ma'am. I've got 15 years of engineering experience, 5 languages, and I can fix anything from a solar sail to a quantum drive." He tried to sound confident, though the empty credit chip in his pocket made him feel anything but. Lyra led him through corridors lined with holographic memories, images of her with another Sylvari male and 2 small children, all 4 of them radiating the bioluminescent joy her species was known for. The recent images showed only Lyra and the children, their glow noticeably dimmer. The posting was perhaps misleading, Lyra said, stopping before a viewing window that overlooked a garden where 2 young Sylvari played. They couldn't have been more than 7 standard years old, their movements awkward as they tried to maintain the complex harmonic gestures their species used for communication. "I don't understand," Darren said carefully. Lyra's 4 hands clasped together in what he'd learned was a gesture of deep distress among her people. "My mate Theron died in the mining accident on Kepler 9 8 months ago. The compensation was adequate for survival, but my children—" Her voice cracked, the universal sound of grief transcending species. "They are learning the death songs instead of the life harmonics. They see only endings, not beginnings. I'm sorry for your loss," Darren said quietly, "but I still don't understand what you need from me." "Humans." Lyra turned to face him fully, all 4 eyes meeting his too. "Are the only species in the Galactic Council who choose to continue after loss. Every other race we retreat, we diminish, we sing our death songs and fade gently. But humans, you lose everything and somehow find reasons to laugh the next day. You bury your dead and plant flowers on their graves. You celebrate lives ended rather than mourning eternally." Darren felt something tighten in his chest. He knew what she was talking about. He'd lived it. "My children need to see that life continues," Lyra continued, her voice strengthening. "They need someone who has survived loss and still chooses joy. I don't need an employee, Darren of Earth. I need someone who can teach my children that the song doesn't end when a voice falls silent. It changes key, but it continues." "Ma'am, I'm not qualified to—" "You are a human who still smiles," she interrupted. "I researched your species extensively. You lost your own family in the Atlanta Dome collapse. Yet here you stand, seeking work, seeking purpose, seeking to continue. That is what I need. Not your engineering skills, though those are welcome. I need you to show them the human way. The stubborn, impossible, beautiful human way of refusing to surrender to grief." Darren looked out at the children again. The boy was trying to show his sister some kind of hand gesture, but they both kept stopping, their bioluminescence flickering with uncertainty. "My daughter Kessa won't eat," Lyra said softly. "She says food is for those who will see tomorrow. My son Nyron practices his death harmonics every night. They're 7, Darren. They should be learning star songs and dreaming of exploration, not preparing to fade." "What exactly are you offering?" Darren asked, though he already knew his answer. "Live here. Teach them human resilience. Show them your Earth customs, your holidays that celebrate lost loved ones, your music that turns pain into beauty, your stories where heroes fall and others rise. I can pay you well, but more than that, I'm asking you to be what my people don't have words for, a person who fills the space left behind without replacing what was lost." Darren was quiet for a long moment. Through the window, he watched Nyron pick up a small tool, probably his father's, and hold it uncertainly. "I celebrate my daughter's birthday every year," Darren said finally. "Even though she's gone, I make her favorite cake, play her favorite music, tell stories about her to anyone who'll listen. My people thought I was crazy for the first few years. And now?" Lyra asked. "Now some of them join me. Turns out remembering doesn't have to hurt forever." He turned to face her. "But I'm not a teacher. I'm not a counselor. I'm just a guy who learned that surviving and living are two different things. That, Lyra said, her luminescence brightening for the first time since he'd arrived, is exactly what they need to learn. Then I accept, Darren said. Not as an employee, as... He struggled for the word. As someone who knows the way forward through the dark, Lyra finished. In your language, I believe there's a word. Friend. Outside, Niran dropped the tool and his sister caught it. For just a moment, they both glowed a little brighter. Darren smiled. It was a start.